more to it. I'm going to do some more looking
Here's
for that.
the other line. I am never doing this again.
Yeah, you're never coming near me again.
Don't you touch me.
Yeah, this is perfect. 7:35. We're just a few minutes away from Steph's Fox Flashback. You've got a choice of prizes included among them. We have 3 sets of 4 packs of reserved seats to Comerica Park for Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday evening. All 3 games, 6:40 p.m. And it's the Tigers taking on Boston, a team they should be able to annihilate, hopefully, because they're not playing very well this year. So the Tigers are playing better than Boston for sure. So Boston coming to town, and if you'd like to go, these are those seats we've been telling you about, we've had for years. They're just 3 rows back from the outfield, about halfway between third base and the home run fence. Mm-hmm. You get there early enough, I'm told that the players will mill around there. You can talk to them and
How cool is that?
maybe get a few
Autographs,
in the
yeah.
process. It's a great place to catch foul balls, too, by the way. So if you want those tickets, you can win them when we play Steph's Fox Flashback, and she brings you the trivia contest question that is attached to that. Plus, we have World Expo and beer tickets if you can't make either of those games. Those are for the 15th and 16th of May in Frankenmuth, the World Expo beer coming again. And we have freaking unbelievable burger gift certificates. Whatever you want, you'll have that chance next. The Fox.
Yes, you will. Hey, welcome back. Or welcome, period, to today's session behind the scenes of the Foxhole Morning Show. Alejandro joining us now. We picked him up on the side of the road as the bus drives by and picks people up here. The word annihilate is in the spotlight right now. Andrea has returned. Here now is Mr. Mel Mel. Good evening, Mr. Mel Mel. How you doing? Linda has returned once again. So has Eric. Welcome to you guys. Again. Got here a little quicker than we did yesterday because we did not decide this time to delete the Prism Live app and just kept it in there, and it managed to switch us over in a hurry. Making lunch while listening, okay? What's for lunch?
Because Xmark believes if something's worth doing, it's worth doing right. Visit Alderman's.
Because if it sounds good enough, I may ask for maybe a
That's Alderman's.
chance to share.
Here, amazing things happen. Here, exceptional is expected. Here, heroes come in
What I do need, in the worst way, is weight loss friendly food if you are making that for lunch. Like to share, because I don't know if what I'm eating has been pushing me in that direction. We'll find out Friday. Linda, on the other hand, needs breakfast right now. Rachel is back also. For her, she's one of those for whom lunch usually arrives at about 9 a.m. Better than yesterday, all good. Better than yet. Well, that part's good. Weight loss friendly, 223.5. That's what you want to go with. All right, 223.5. I'm not sure if that. Hold on, I'm gonna have to go and look and see if that's where even saying. People already were guessing yesterday. Yep. For Rachel, lunch is at 10 a.m. She's one of those morning people, and we all do that. Ham sandwich with spiral ham made in the crock pot last night. Oh, spiral ham is good. Spiral ham rocks a lot. Mr. Mel Mel said 223.6. I'll tell you what. Let me get after the traffic. I'm going to see if either of those have been taken, because I wonder if they might have been. One of those might have been. We'll wait and see. Because I got some from earlier this week. There's been some guesses already filed. Because, of course, the first to guess a certain weight figure is the one who gets to claim that one if somebody else wants it. So we'll wait and see, but I want to get this done first. So you're not back home with Mrs. Mel Mel right now, are you? Well, I guess they call you Papa now with the arrival of Ivy. Grandpa and Grandpa are Papa and Nana now. What was last week's weight? What was it? 220. Jeez, I got to go back and look. I think it was 226.4. Sounds about right. No, 225.4. 225.4 is what it was last week.
Keep your information fresh to keep Snap
And Rachel won that one last week.
A message from the Michigan Department
She did.
of Health and Human Services.
She did.
If you or someone you love is struggling with health,
Here's the proof.
you're not alone. Help is
She's on the list.
90 years, 24/7. This organization, which you have
Those are the people who are on the list, which is growing. When we get down to 210, that list will stop growing. And somebody from that list is going to get the drawing that we'll do, the complimentary drawing of your favorite person, pet, or place that I'll do for you gladly and try to make it look somewhat like what's on the wall here, the Norm Stoltz Memorial Art Wall. 225 Ford taken. I have to wait. Again, I'm going to wait and see. Once we get done with traffic, I'll switch over and see what that page from. 2 problem points right now that we're looking at. Mundy Township, a crash on Hill 23. This is going to be the 6,000 block of Hill 23 over by the McDonald's. And in the city of Flint, we still have the Dodge debris. That's going to be in the area of University Avenue at Nolan Drive. And that's it. No other problems that we know of right now. Vehicle City traffic information updated throughout the day at classicfox.com/traffic. Whenever you spot a crash, we invite you and encourage you to let us know about it at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777. Be a traffic tipster on 103.9 The Fox.
The Fox Home Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
Did you know that the name of the band, this band, was actually a marketing gimmick that backfired? Their label, Quality Records, released their first hit single, credited only to Guess Who, with a question mark.
Right?
In an attempt to build a mystique around the band, and the idea was to evoke in the fans' minds the suspicion that this might be an assembly of more famous singers playing incognito.
Right.
The real name of the band was Chad Allen and the Expressions.
Boy, am I glad they didn't pick that one.
I know, right? But radio station DJs continued to refer to them as the Guess Who when playing subsequent singles by them, so they were stuck with the name. We're highlighting bands participating in the Live Nation Summer of Live promotion this morning. $30 tickets, all fees included for this summer's concert season from some of classic rock's biggest bands, including these guys. So let's get into it with the Guess Who. Here we go with Laughing on 103.9 The Fox.
Love that song. Okay, let me quickly see what we've got here. Who wants certain ones? Certain. Okay, let's start first of all. 224. 224 appears to be free, so we can do that one. Chris will go 224. All right, we'll do that one. Chris is in at 224, right on the button. Mr. Melmel, 224.5. 224.5. That will work. Yeah, that works. 224.5. Mr. Melmel. All right. Yeah. All right. Swing back here again. Let's see. Michigan Kim. Al is coming to see what rehab did it. Well, there you go. 225.4 for Linda. Let me see if Linda, can you have 225.4? Yep, that's clear. You're good. 225.4. You got it. And you're called Pop. Is that what it is, Pop? I thought she said it was Papa. Papa and Nana. Maybe it's Pop, I guess. You want to go 223 on the side of error. Okay, thank you, Robsuka. 223 has already been taken. 223 on the button has been taken. We need to give you another one. Okay, you're Rockhampton is where you are. Okay. That would actually be a kind of a good name for you, Rockhampton. It'd be a good air name for you, Rockhampton. Okay, Alejandro wants 222.5. Can I do that one? Yeah, I guess we can. Yeah, Yep. Let's see. Yep, 222.5. That works. 222.5. Back to Steph.
Because it's the first time that Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings are together playing music in 23
What
years.
happened to those two? They were so close.
They were.
But-
And then the business side got in the way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I'm going to play another
That's
song.
all right. And by the way, with that show, Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman performing as the Guess Who,
Yeah.
we also have special guest Don Felder. And that is Pine Knob, July 3rd. Are you going yet? Have you made up your mind?
I got to try and get to that show.
Come
That
on.
is a huge show.
I
And
will.
Those are $30 tickets.
Yes,
today. So
all
you know,
fees included.
I think what we'll do, we'll go buy them and then we'll figure it out later.
That I like that idea.
Yeah.
I really want to go to that one and then the Deep Purple in Kansas show.
Yeah.
Are just a few on my list.
I'm telling you, nobody has a voice like Burton Cummings.
No, and you know what it is about classic rock? I can tie so many of those songs to happy memories.
Right.
My mom was a Burton Cummings freak.
Yeah.
And when I say freak, I mean freak. I can't even tell you how many times we heard laughing
Really?
over and over.
Oh, that had to bring
over.
back memories for you then.
Share the Land,
Yeah.
another
Oh,
one,
that's
No
another
Time,
thing. Yep.
Sugar Tonight. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
I like your idea. We'll get tickets and then figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
All right. So now with the trivia question, the phone number that you'll need, 810-230-9777. We'll run down the prizes. You've got a $20 freaking unbelievable birth certificate. That could be yours. Our last pair of tickets to the World Expo of Beer, May 15th and 16th up in Frankenmuth. That's going to be huge.
Right.
And then we've got 4 tickets for each of these Tigers games, all of them against the Red Sox. Monday, May 4th, Tuesday, May 5th, Wednesday, May 6th. Those are all evening games at 6:40 p.m. So here is your question. And we've talked about this before. On July 17th, 1970, the Guess Who was invited to perform a concert at which American landmark?
Say that again, because
All
I think
right.
I know the answer to this.
On July 17th, 1970, the Guess Who was invited to perform a concert at which American landmark?
I think I know what the answer is to that, but I'm not positive.
All right.
Phone is right now. We've got a delay issue on the phone, so it may or may not ring right away. 810-230-9777. If you get into the wasteland that is the just redial.
Since Tina can't see pictures, Thelma, Louise wants you to restart your phone or leave and come back. Either way, try to reshuffle the deck here by doing what you've done in the past to get your picture back.
Oh, I love that.
I had forgotten about that song.
Yeah?
Just automatically, accidentally went into that.
Michigan Kim likes to have her guys have longer hair, like Burton Cummings did back when they first started.
Band that I'd forgotten about that was kind of hot for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to
We'll write it down.
do that another day because that's not in the feature today. Let's go to the phones. Here we go.
All right. Good morning, the Fox. Do you know what American landmark that was?
Hello, caller. Can you hear
Hello?
us? Hello. Now we got that problem with line 1.
Oh,
Okay,
great.
go to line 2.
Good morning, the Fox. Do you know what American landmark that is?
That was the White House?
It was the White House. Absolutely. Trisha Nixon was a huge fan, so she
Yeah.
said, Daddy, invite the band. They'll come play for us.
I remember seeing a picture of Richard Nixon sitting in that audience.
Yeah.
How silly that looked. But
Yeah, he looked distinctly uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought it was kind of crazy that Mrs. Nixon expressly forbade them to sing American Woman at that performance.
Well, yeah, and I remember that too because it was a political thing.
It was. Oh, Gary Moore.
We lost
Did
our
we
winner.
lose him?
We lost our winner. They're going to have to call you back.
All right.
All right. They gave the right answers.
Yeah, they did. We just don't know who it was.
All right, well, we've got the caller ID, so when
right,
they call
perfect.
back, we'll know.
Okay.
So whoever that was, go ahead and give us a call back. We'll make sure you get your prize. It is 7:49 here in the Foxhole. Let's get on to one more song here.
There you go. This guy going to be at Michigan Lottery Amphitheater Freedom Hill on July 10th. Yes, you heard correctly. It's Ted Nugent. Cat Scratch Fever on 103.9 The Fox.
Live Nation deal at $30. All these bands are going to be bands that are performing in Michigan and going on sale at $30 with the Live Nation deal today. Can't believe we're doing all this advertising for them. I don't even like them that
I
much.
know.
103.9 The Fox.
Okay. Well, okay, let's see what's going on here. Michigan Kim's mom said she was born in the wrong era. Most of the guys in the 60s and the 80s were right up your alley. The hair bands, you need to make your bet on puzzle time. Oh, I see. You don't think we're going to get on very early with that, huh? Because we do have that coming up. The crossword puzzle will be tackled again in the coming minutes after we get done with the 8 o'clock news. And right now we are at 7:49 in the morning in the Eastern time zone. You're not getting any notifications from me at all. Do you? Well, I mean, haven't we kind of been a kind of a fits and starts mode where that's concerned anyway? You don't usually regularly get them. Some people do, some people don't. I don't know how the hell that happens with the settings. I was assuming you should be able to, but I guess if you don't have the settings on your end set up to receive them, then they're not going to come in. I know I've been asked a lot of times when I add apps to my phone, it's asking if I want to be notified. Do I want the notifications? And for some of them, yes. For some of them, I know it's just going to be a pain in the ass if I see them again. So it's one of those deals. And Tina does normally get notified. Chris thinks you need to fix your settings, which may be the case. What am I doing here? With the weather, it's been only 49 degrees. Mentioned this earlier too. Michigan Kim had to click like on YouTube regularly to make sure you got your notifications. You had to click like on YouTube. It's a good time for me to remind for those of you who are on YouTube for the first time watching us, not necessarily just the live stream, but if you're watching us on replay, because some of you do, I find, please do like and subscribe. We are inching up toward that 1,000 subscribers mark. We're all the way up to 92. Okay, so we only have 908 to go to get there. So we're setting that goal. We need to get to 1,000 because that's what YouTube wants us to do in order to be able to go live without the aid of a third-party app. But we're only at 92 right now. So we're one at a time going toward you. Okay? Breakfast has arrived. So what? Okay, let's find out what breakfast is now for Michigan Kim. We found out about the spiral ham that Andrea's making for lunch. What have you got for breakfast right now on your breakfast table or breakfast tray? Now here's Mel Mel. So we've got both ends. I mean, I think if he's still here, we have both halves of the Australian Mel Mels with us. Good evening, Mel Mel. Mr. Mel Mel's already checked in with us. Toast and sausage. That sounds good. That sounds awesome. That's what I order. Either toast and sausage or toast and bacon. In a restaurant, that's the way to go.
He was an absolute crazed Ted Nugent fan.
Yeah.
He would play these in the studio, and we would obviously play Ted Nugent on the air, and he would turn it up loud and everything, and I just became a huge Nugent fan after that.
I became a fan the first time I saw him.
Did you?
He is such a wild man on stage.
Well, I like Amboy Dukes. That was...
Very much so, too, yes.
I liked them, but then when Nugent was on his own, I was just not that into it at the time.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
And even the damn Yankees.
Yeah.
They had a few great songs as well.
They were, yes, very good. But I got to thank my producer from Buffalo for turning me on to that.
Turning you on to the Nuge.
Yeah, and that's what he used to call all the time, the Nuge.
The Nuge.
The name of his cat was Ted.
Of course it
That was Johnny's cat's name was Ted.
And now you've got breakfast pizza.
Ted with beer bottle caps.
What goes on a breakfast pizza, Andrea?
Fetch beer bottle caps and bring them back to him.
I thought Ted Nugent wasn't a drinker.
I don't know whether he was or wasn't. Ted Nugent supposedly wasn't a partier at all. But does anybody believe that you've gone through all those years of rock and roll and didn't once in a while inhale?
No.
I'm just saying.
But having said that, Ted Nugent's first wife was killed in a car accident.
Right.
And they think that she was under the influence at the time.
And that may be
Yeah.
affected his
Sure.
son. That could very
Yeah.
well be.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't want to doubt him then. 7:54. Good morning. Detroit. Make plans for May 1st.
Cheese, eggs, and bacon. That's a breakfast pizza. Cheese, eggs, and bacon. No pineapple. Okay. Alejandro is hungry because we mentioned bacon. Speaking of food, when Kimmy gets my Jinx back, she's in trouble. He was my sous chef. Must be an interesting story that goes with that. Oh, his cat. That was what it was, your cat. Jinx? Is your cat? I'm going to tell you something very fast. You know what? I could tell you about it anyway, real fast. If you guys have cats, if you have a microchipped, big thumbs up to you, because it happened again. Georgia family lost their cat. His name was Dodger. He ended up in California, and 7 years later was discovered to belong to this family in Georgia. How did they discover it? Because he had a microchip. 7 years. Back in 2K16, they were moving from California to Florida. Dodger escaped from a friend's vehicle in the Fresno area. Dodger's fate was unknown for 7 years. Volunteer with Fresno Trap and Release found one of the cats that had been rounded up for the spay and neuter program, had been microchipped, and that was Dodger. Cat turned out to be Dodger, whose family lives in Georgia. So Sidney Sherman with Fresno TNR Trap and Release had already been planning a trip to Florida, made arrangements to meet up with the Davidsons. That was the family that had lost his cat. Handed Dodger over to the family, took him home to Georgia. 7 years later, back home. Back home again. So congratulations to the family who microchips their animal because, hey, you never know. You may need that one day. See what's going on here with because we're getting ready to do the news in a couple minutes. A couple of minutes from now, we'll get to the news. A couple minutes after that from now, we'll get to the crossword puzzle on National Zipper Day today. And by the way, Drax is a Russian blue. A Russian blue. How old is Drax? Coincidentally enough, we have another Russian blue. That's Eric's cat, 17, named Shadow. Russian blue. Did you get it as a kitten? Or was it one of those that was acquired later in life? Going to be 7, you believe. Outstanding. Outstanding. Troublemaker or sleeper? I'm going to do this. I said I was going to do it before, and we haven't done it yet, but we will here fairly soon. We're going to do this thing called This or That. And in this particular case, all right, with the cat, for example, Drax, troublemaker or sleeper? Which is it? We had somebody over on TikTok we're talking about. He was talking about a shower in the morning, waking him up, because we're talking about how sometimes it's difficult to wake up. Some people wait till the alarm goes off, and then they're groggy, even though they woke up earlier and they were fine. That happened to me today, by the way. Woke up at 1:21. It was great, so I stayed up, and that's how long I've been up, since 1:21, even though the alarm goes off at 2, because if I wait for the alarm at 2, I'm going to be groggy as hell, and I know it. So we started talking about that. Somebody said, need a shower in the morning that gets you going. So I said, warm or cold? Warm or cold, this or that? Which is it? We're going to do that with a lot of other topics with you guys soon. Husband adopted from animal control when he worked there. Drax tugged his pocket through the cage. Oh, well, that's a great way to start a life with them. That's how you form a connection right away. Andrea says he's a sleeper. He's about 20 pounds and scared of his own shadow. Crystal has Apollo.
Rock 103.9 The Fox coming up. We still have that freaking unbelievable burger gift certificate to give away, so we'll have that to give away yet before the show is over. You know, the other stations, they give away one prize every 6 months, and it's somewhere in the country.
Yes.
We give away about 6 prizes every morning somewhere in the county.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, isn't
One
it?
letter difference, the country for them, county for us, but still a big gift for you, the listener. Oh, by the way, we've been talking a lot about what we're doing here today. We're playing all the music that you're hearing between 6 and 9 a.m. here on the Foxhole Morning Show this morning are from artists that are going to be performing in Michigan this summer. And those tickets have a special deal today with the Live Nation $30 annual sale going on with all of these artists that we're featuring today. So be listening for more of that. And coming up, since we're talking music, We talk a lot about bands here on the Foxhole Morning Show. Steph is really big on this with Steph's Fox Flashback, and she's really deep diving into great music and great stories about the music. One of the things I found yesterday, just by accident as I was cruising the internet, is some of the most famous albums were recorded in less than a week.
I know, that's mind-blowing, isn't it?
It is, and I have a little bit of a story on that that's kind of fascinating. We'll get to that coming up here on the Fox, but right now...
Time for news. 5 things you should know. 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Fox Big Deals. 103.9 The Fox wants you to save up to 50% at your favorite local businesses, restaurants, services, and more. FoxBigDeals.com or click the link at ClassicFox.com. Like Fox Big Deals on Facebook. A suspect in custody in connection with a double shooting going down in Saginaw Monday night. Reports say that a man and a woman were shot along the 400 block of South 19th Street just after 7 p.m. Monday and rushed to the hospital. Both now said to be recovering. Governor Whitmer adding 2 more areas to the nearly 3 dozen counties now included in the state of emergency that was declared in the wake of the recent severe weather that left behind a trail of widespread flooding and damage to the region. Governor's placing the village of Holly and Tuscola County in that category now. 33 other counties were already placed under that state of emergency. DTE Energy asking to raise electricity rates by nearly $475 million annually, and that's expected to mean almost a 10% increase for residential customers. DTE just receiving approval for an increase of $242 million 2 months ago. On the campus of Michigan State University, Wells Hall again closed again today as MSU officials say it's going to remain so for the rest of this week as a precaution. That comes after Monday's evacuation due to the presence of an unidentified chemical in the building, which is the largest academic building on the MSU campus. Pistons now in a win or go home situation tonight. They're facing elimination entering Game 5 of that first round playoff series. They'll face the Orlando Magic, who are up 3-1, tipping at 7 o'clock tonight at Little Caesars Arena. Tigers lost to the Atlanta Braves in Atlanta 5-2 last night. They'll play once again tonight. Great Lakes Loons beat Peoria 11-4. They're going to face the Chiefs again tonight 6:05. That one up in Midland in Dow Diamond. And to cap this one off, nobody won Mega Millions last night. That jackpot rolling over to $178 million. Tonight's Powerball drawing for a jackpot of $163 million. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Today's forecast calling for cloudy skies for the most part, and scattered showers could pop up during the latter portion of the morning or midday. Temperatures not expected to move much from around the 50 degree or so mark. They'll top out around 54 today. Northerly winds at 7 to 9 miles an hour. Cloudy tonight as we get down to around 36. And then tomorrow, abundant sunshine. However, still cooler. We're only going to climb to around 52. And for Friday, the morning starts off with widespread frost. Sunshine mixed with the clouds the remainder of the day, and it'll continue to be cooler, only 49. Right now, it is 49 in Flint, and in Saginaw, 46.
Playing nothing but bands that are going to be in concert in Michigan this summer. Here's Foreigner on 103.9 Fox.
All right. As you know, we are here on TikTok in the morning from 6:30 to 7, then Facebook, and then we hang here on YouTube for an hour. And during that hour, usually, we spend some time doing the crossword puzzle, and that's coming up after we get done with our traffic update. Well, you know what? Let's do a couple of them right now. Let's get them started so that we can kind of get a momentum going here. All right? Let's do that. I see Ohio Kim is here joining the party right now. Good morning to Ohio Kim. What's going on over there today? The puzzle that we're working on this week, I guess, we pretty much do one a week, is themed urban outskirts. And when we get done with this puzzle, the shaded squares, we're going to spell out a natural expanse for city dwellers. Natural expanse for city dwellers. That's when we get done with this puzzle and we can see what the shaded squares brought us in terms of a collective answer. Yeah, get over here. All right. There we go. All right, let's move on over here. We start to go to the lower left corner because we got nothing done there. So let's pick up on that. See where we're at. We're going to go to 20 down. And our first clue, designed for the workplace. Designed for the workplace. E, and then 8 more letters. 9-letter word, starting with an E. Designed for the workplace. And it is right. It is ergonomic. Eric comes up with ergonomic. Designed for the workplace, basically meaning the furniture over there and the ease of being able to use it. 27 down is next up. 27 down is coffee bean variety. Coffee bean variety, and we don't have any letters to start with here to get you started. It's going to be a 7-letter word. Coffee bean variety. Alejandro seems to identify with Jukebox Hero because he is in fact one of those. Yeah, Tina comes up with Arabica. That's right. All right. We're rolling now. All right, with that in mind, let's go over to here and go across one more time. Let's go 26 across. 26 across. Indians called him the Great Soul. Indians called him the Great Soul. G-A blank blank H blank. We got another song coming up here, so we'll let the music roll and we'll do this. All right. You guys see Eric's answers just to double check here because he's got one up there. I want to make sure everybody sees it. Because Eric's got an answer for us here on this one, which is Mel cannot see Eric's answer. Sheila can see Eric's answer. And Alejandro used to be a drummer until MS kicked in. Okay, but you started singing. All right. Tina cannot see. Andrea can see. So some can, some can't. All right. We're going to have to see if we get you continuing to unblock people here, Eric, because we want to make sure that everybody can see what you've got. So start unblocking, but we'll give you this one. It's Gandhi. Gandhi is the answer that we were looking for on that one. Let's move on. So now that we've got some of these, it'll make it easier to work over here. Maybe. Or maybe not. Let's try this one. Let's go to 32 across. We're going to go 32 across. 32 across is bicolor snack. Bicolor snack. O-R blank blank. Bicolor snack. O-R blank blank. Mr. Mel comes up with Oreo. There you go. Got it. Beautiful. Tina also. Linda also. Oreo is the answer. Beautiful. Okay. Let's go down here to number, what is it, 35 across. 35 across. Boy, we're rocking here now. Having a specific disposition. Having a specific disposition. N-A blank, 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 D. Having a specific disposition. Yeah, look at that. We're natured. Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. Natured. Linda comes up with the answer that we were looking for there. All right, let's go back down again. Let's go down to 28 down. Bugged. Bugged. Here now to bug us is our executive producer from Finland. Good afternoon, Rapsuka. Bugged. Another word for bugged. N-E-T, blank, 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 blank. Back to that after we've done some stuff on the air with whatever they're doing.
That's one of the bands we're featuring here today. We're on sale. They're going to be in concert in Michigan. All of the songs we're playing are from classic rock acts are going to be coming here. All of them are on sale for $30 today with the Live Nation deal that they offer you annually to take your mind off of what they charge the rest of the year. So
that general on sale does begin at 10 a.m. this morning.
And it's online, right?
It is. And I will repost the story that I put up yesterday.
Right.
That way it's all fresh.
All right, so this came across my desk a few weeks ago, and I was very intrigued by it. You know, we talk a lot about Michigan. I've done a lot of touring in Michigan. Personally, everybody in Michigan tours Michigan almost every week. We all go up north whenever we get the chance, things like that. So found this author, Amy Piper, is on the phone with us this morning. Good morning, Amy.
Good morning, Johnny and Stephanie. How are you?
Good, thank you.
And you're in Lansing, correct?
I am in Lansing, yes.
All right, so one of the books that's been out for a while is Secret Michigan. Another one is called the Small Town Michigan. The Small Town Michigan is coming out May 15th, and there's going to be some book signings along for that book as well as the Secret Michigan book. But we've been talking to people about this story about the only king to ever rule in America ruled in Michigan. What's that story, Amy?
Well, James Jeffrey Strain went to Beaver Island. He became the king. He originally started trying to be a love interest to Queen Victoria, and she never replied to him.
Right.
And so he went to Beaver Island and declared himself king, and the House of Representatives in Michigan actually recognized him, and he had some conflicts with the Irish who were already there, and so ultimately some of his followers assassinated him on Beaver Island, and so his kingdom was short-lived, but he actually was recognized as a king.
And he was associated with the Mormons, wasn't he, with Jacob Smith?
He was.
Or Joseph Smith, whatever the guy's name was, yeah, who's founded the Mormons in New York, but then somehow this guy ended up in charge of Mormonism and moved it over to Beaver Island and then became king and all of that, and ultimately he was killed, wasn't he?
Yes, he was assassinated by some of his followers. And so, and another interesting king story is how Gerald Ford was born Lester King Jr. in Omaha, Nebraska. And so that's another interesting one. He actually was not adopted by his stepfather. He was, they called him Junior Ford when he was young, and he went through life being Junior and Jerry Ford until his paternal grandparents passed away. That was not his legal name. After he graduated from University of Michigan, who actually had to go to court and legally change his name to Gerald Ford.
I was just going to say, was that that he was illegally president? He had the right name or something, but yeah, he legally changed his name then.
Yes, he did. Once his paternal grandparents passed, he didn't want to hurt their feelings.
Wow, that's a pretty crazy story. What's another great secret story about Michigan that we would be surprised by?
Well, in Cadillac,
Yeah.
it's called Secret, A Guide to the Weird, Wonderful, and Obscure. And so the weird thing is, in Cadillac, they have the Clam Lake Canal, and then there are lakes on both ends, Lake Mitchell and Lake Cadillac.
Right.
And when the lake freezes, or the lakes on each end freeze, the canal doesn't. And when the canal freezes, the lakes don't. And it all has to do with the water and how it runs and that kind of thing.
Wow. And there's so many more things to how a small town in Michigan became hell. How did that happen, by the way? And I can't imagine what that meeting was like at the city council. Let's call this place hell. I think that's what we should have called Burton, but we screwed that up.
Hey,
Yeah.
we love Burton.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, they had the townsfolk. They had a place on the third floor of a building where the men would go,
Yeah.
and they would take the whiskey down when the taxpayers came. And so the wives frequently said, well, my husband went to hell. And so that was one version of the story. And then someone else has said that they asked the founder what he wanted to call the town, and he said, I don't care, call it hell for all I care.
And that's how it ended up being called Hell, Michigan. I love it. All right, next week we'll ask you how Climax came to be, but I'm not going to go into that right now.
Lord. So, not many people know this, but my co-host, Johnny Burke, is a huge, huge fan of chicken lizards, or gizzards, I should say.
Gizzard, yeah.
So tell him about the gizzard capital of Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay. Charlotte has Gizzard City, Joe's Gizzard City, and they started out as a chicken joint, and they still serve chicken, but everything there is fried, and they're famous for their gizzards, and they actually started a gizzard festival.
Somebody called us about this last year and told us about this.
I'm kind of remembering that too.
Yeah.
How have you never been?
I don't know. Have you been, Amy?
I have not. I've been to Joe's Gizzard City, but I haven't been to the festival itself. But I've heard wonderful things about it, and it attracts probably 10,000 people every year.
That's amazing.
So it's a very big deal.
Yeah, well, they've got a lot of these kinds of stories in this book, folks, and you're going to be out signing books. By the way, the book is called Secret Michigan, A Guide to the Weird, Wonderful, and Obscure, which should probably include me and Steph. we fit one of those categories.
Next book.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. But anyway, so where are you going to be out and about where people, and by the way, Secret Michigan is out there. You can get it now. Where do you get it, by the way, first of all?
You can get it at your local bookstores, and you can also get it on Amazon and through Reedy Press, the publisher.
And then the other one's coming out May 15th, Small Town, Michigan, and that'll be available as well through those same places. But you are going to be out over the next several weeks in places where people will be able to meet you and you can sign some books, right?
Yes, I'm going to be at the Wandering Librarian Bookstore in Monroe on May 16th. Then I'm going to be at the Boozy Book Fair in Charlevoix at Castle Farms on May 31st. That's a particularly fun one.
Boozy, you got me at Boozy. Yeah.
I know. And then there's going to be an event in Adrian, Michigan at Troptastic Books and Gifts on the 5th of June.
All right.
And then just to kind of finish it up, the 27th and 28th at the Lakeshore Art Festival of June in Muskegon at Hackley Park.
Do you have a website where people can follow you?
Yes, it's called Follow the Piper.
I like that. How perfect is that? And that's the website, followthepiper.com?
Correct, and it has a lot of Michigan content, but content from around the world. I've been to 47 countries, and I still love Michigan the most.
Amy Piper, everybody. Amy, thank you very much for joining us, and I really appreciate
Thank
your time you gave us today. And we'll be looking forward to your next book, and good luck going forward.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, Amy Piper. Followthepiper.com. What
I
perfect.
love that. And how many times have we said you could take 3 vacations every year for the rest of your life and never see all of Michigan?
That is so very
Yeah,
true.
it is.
All right, check that one out. It's 8:20. Feeling the heat.
Okay, got breaking news from the rehab center. Looks like Michigan Kim is supposed to stay 2 weeks. 2 weeks. You want the smile source. The smile source is right now the sleeping source. From Peabody, Massachusetts. Gizmo is a Yorkshire Terrier and a guard dog extraordinaire you can see right there. Look at that. Paying attention to anybody or anything that might possibly threaten his abode. Oh, jeez. Back to the puzzle in a second here. 2 weeks, eh, Michigan Kim? Yeah, he's smiling. He's dreaming about something cool. Probably getting a treat. That is what rules Jacko's dreams.
They still gave me a medal. I don't want a reward for doing. I want a reward for dominating. Like daily prize match up at 365. I play for free and win real.
Tomorrow, Fireballs. Yeah, Rapsuka will be there with a smile on his sleeping face by tomorrow morning in the Hellhole Saloon, where everybody knows your name.
Winning isn't everything.
We'll be there
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only.
tomorrow.
President of Michigan. T's and C's apply. Silly, careless human. You unleashed my power. Just try and stop me. I dare you. Is the leading cause of wildfires.
Doctor for Linda tomorrow, but for a checkup. Okay, well, good luck with that.
Don't go starting something wild. Burn safe.
Stick out your tongue and say, ah.
Or visiting michigan.gov/burn permit. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Natural Resources and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters. Chronic knee pain can be the most debilitating physical challenge.
Now breathe in.
Vascular Institute of Michigan has mastered the GAE.
Now breathe out.
You could be pain-free. Injection, surgery, or knee replacement with this minimally invasive process. GAE treats the inflammation blood vessels which lead to controlled knee joint pain. Similar procedures are available for chronic hip pain, shoulder pain, and plantar fasciitis. Your days of pain and discomfort.
Never forget the one day at a physical,
Without surgery.
Doc took tweezers, put them in my ear, and pulled out an earbud that had been in there for nobody knew how long. But it had been in the air for that long. All of a sudden, I heard a little differently before. I mean, I was able to hear before, but the hole in it allowed me to hear, but not as well as I could have if I didn't have that little rubber earbud in my ear for an undetermined amount of time. Well, Absuka's not been to a doctor in years.
3.9 The Fox.
Well, the only problem right now we're looking at is in Grand Blanc Township. We got a crash on Holly Road south of Baldwin Road to slow you down, and that's it. The freeways right now are crash-free and delay-free everywhere. And for updated vehicle city traffic info, remember to go to classicfox.com/traffic. When you spot a problem, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777. To be a traffic tipster on 103.9 The Fox.
And coming up, you'll have a chance to win a freaking unbelievable burger gift certificate. And we continue with music being played by just bands that are going to be in concert in Michigan this year and are going on sale at $30 on the special deal that Live Nation has annually, and that starts today.
And it does include these guys, the Black Crows, July 18th, Pine Knob. Here they are with Remedy on 103.9 The Fox.
Yep. that's what happened. Doc had asked, because he knew I was on the air. Their station, he listened to us quite a bit. And he says, do you, when you're working on the air, use those little earbuds? I says, yeah. He says, are they black? I says, yeah. He goes in with a pair of tweezers, pulls out a black earbud that had come loose from the little post that holds it on, the little rubber earbud. Yep, like this one. He says, I said, see. I don't know how long it had been in there, but it had been in there for a while. And somehow it gotten loose when I'd fallen asleep with it and it came out or something, whatever happened. It's, the history of that earbud is just like the history of Jacko before he came here. I have absolutely no idea. Nothing. All right, let's go back to our puzzle. Let's go down to 36 down. Renee in movies. That's going to start us off over here. 36 down. R blank 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 blank. Renee in movies. Eric is saying he thinks some people here have him blocked. He tried to unblock people for a month. It won't let him, he says. Renee in movies. The answer indeed is Rousseau. Rousseau. All right. Now, let's go, what do we want to do? We want to do, let's see what I want to do here. $37, Mel, okay, let's see. Mel says, no, I haven't blocked him, just unblocked people. Rob Suka does not block anyone, he says. Okay, let's go with this one, because we only got one letter to finish up on this one. This is 31 down. Sixth sense letters. Sixth sense letters. And all we need to get is one letter here. E-S blank. E-S blank. ESP, that's right, Kim. Ohio Kim comes through with that one. ESP. Minus the M right there. ESP, okay. Now with that in mind, let's take 37 and go across. 37 across. And the question is going to be this. What is the clue? The clue is regular people. Regular people. And it is P blank 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 S. Regular people. Regular people. P blank 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 S. Hellraisers, yeah. No. You guys no way in hell are considered regular people. There's something very irregular about this group at all. Peeps, not quite. No. I'll tell you what, let's see if we can go down and maybe that'll help us in this one. Lindsay of Freaky Friday, 38 down. Lindsay of Freaky Friday. Peons, yeah. Lindsay of Freaky Friday. 38 down, 5 letters. Lindsay of Freaky Friday. It's not Lohan. It's not Lohan. It's not Lohan. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, it is Lohan. I was looking at something different. Absolutely, Lohan. I was looking at a different line. Everybody is Lohanning it correctly. Andrea and Michigan Kim and Mel and Tina and everybody that's going Lohan, that's correct. Okay, let's go to this one now. 45 across. 45 across. Drug dealers. Drug dealers. P blank blank H blank blank blank. Drug dealers. Tina's friends. All right. We're going to make this one the last word of the day. You're going to say pharmacist, Andrea. Too many letters in that word. P blank blank H blank blank blank. What is the word on the street? What is the word on... Let's go this way. What is the word on the street? What is the word on the street? Not in the drugstore, but on the street. Pushers. There you go. That's it. Streak of being able to finish these on Thursdays, because tomorrow will be Thursday. We will be in the Hal Hole Saloon where everybody knows your name. And if you're sober enough before we get too far into that day, you'll be able to finish up our crossword puzzle. So have yourself a pleasant, peaceful, productive rest of your Wednesday. Since it's Wednesday and since it's hump day, behave accordingly. Come back tomorrow morning on any or all of these positions that we find ourselves in. TikTok, 6:30 to 7. Facebook, 7 to 7:30. YouTube, 7:30 to 8:30. We'll be back here with your friends, the Hal Raisers, here in the Hal Hole. Okay, and we'll be in the saloon. Okay? Okay.